Live. Okay, I think we are live. Let's see if anybody on YouTube types in the live chat to confirm. We have Quipo there already. We have Kyoko Shrine from a nice Discord server that I recently joined as well. So very nice to have her. Poor Cleo lost so much value after the bug fix. Yeah, let's see if that that pushes her down the rankings. To be fair, the bug fix was after I collected the data, so this will not affect her for this this episode yet. But let's see. I think we are live on YouTube. We have Solution joining in the
Yes,
live chat, so
we
that's
are.
great. Awesome. Quipo confirming that live is working. On Discord, we already have Archie, we have Average Person Jason, Quipo there as well. We have Starry joining in. Awesome. And T-Top is there as well. Awesome. Then I think we can already kick it off and start thinking maybe before we think about whether or what number 10 will be. How about the new units? Which of the new units do you think we will already see in the top 10? I mean, Gilgamesh and Cleopatra are the ones that are having some time or had some time to settle in. Dark Sun Wukong will not be part of the rankings yet, and Bright Reset was only out for a few days, so not sure if you guys think it was enough for her to get into the top 10, or if she's gonna go top 10 at all in the future. You guys have any thoughts on these new characters?
Mm. I
Cleo for
think Cleo will
sure.
make it, especially since the data was collected before the bug fix. Her imposter is really good,
Okay, so
and
basically,
she's the only one other than what's it, Watercoin, who could do that.
right. I mean,
So
considering how long Watercolon kept her value in the meta, I mean, she's still a top 30 unit over, what was it now, 2.5 years later. So definitely something to look out for. And I think everybody here pretty much agrees on Clio, I think. Average Person, Quippo, also saying, I think T-Top also mentioned Clio. So a lot of a lot of people actually saying, okay, Cleopatra is a set for for top 10. I think in terms of the bets, we also saw that. We have CC on YouTube joining as well. It's great. And the bad George WTF. Perfect. And Kyoko is also agreeing that Cleopatra will go into the top 10. What about Gilgamesh? Do you think it's enough for her to go into the top 10, considering
No.
where Burn stands?
No.
Mm.
Like
I
I
don't
think
Nah.
think so.
yeah, how long did it takes for
Yeah.
like CS Street to start getting into the meta when it just started released? Considering that.
Yeah, that's one part, and I think even Commander Astrid was a bigger deal for bringing back the burn meta. I feel than Gilgamesh is. I don't know if you guys agree,
Yeah,
because Gilgamesh
and also that.
doesn't seem like a leap of for the burn team as Commander Astrid was. I mean, certainly it's something that makes Platoon 1 burn more interesting again, but let's see where she lands in the rankings. Meanwhile, more info on Cleopatra from Kyoku on YouTube, basically saying, okay, composition destroyer is a composition destroyer, and so dealing with just 3 units and an imposter is so much easier than 4 units. So that is absolutely true. So Cleopatra definitely a hot commodity right now. Unfortunately, only got 1 copy of her, but still, even at 1 copy, she's a unit that can already do a lot of good stuff. And yeah, Commander Astrid already lost the top 10 status, I think last month. So not sure if we will see her again. If so, then this will certainly be because of Gilgamesh. But yeah,
I
then
think it's like 3 months, more like 3 months ago.
oh, right. Yeah, I mean, when the cursed sleep meta basically became so strong together with somebody like Angel Jeanne. I mean, to be fair, since January I kind of run a kind of Kaguya and Angel Jeanne team up front together with Water Snow White, and it's actually kind of hilarious how easily this kind of build deals with burn teams because of the shields, the stealth shields, and then Water Snow White basically with an elemental advantage basically takes out Bright Astrid immediately, and then it's all downhill for the burn team from there. So yeah, burn not in the best place right now. They really need another push. But Yeah, Sixer seems more focused on poison right now, given the Dark Sun Wukong release.
It seemed like the great thing about Gilgamesh too is her stun all on her first move. But when that can be countered with a Lanya, and that's so prevalent now,
True.
it just fire just seems like it's in a bad spot still.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if something like Gilgamesh, if that kind of all stun all move or something was released basically 1 year earlier, that would have been kind of feeling like it's a meta breaking move. But nowadays, there's so many stun immunities, stun wards, or stun absorbers around. Really a different beast right now. So let's see. I mean, Yoka is raising some good points on YouTube, saying that Gilga obliterates something like Sleeping Beauty and helps with Kaguya. But yeah, let's see if it's enough at the very top level in the very matured servers. Speaking of which, let's get into thinking who could be the number 10 in this month's episode. What are you guys' picks? Obviously, number 10 picks, always the most difficult ones, as we already know. So will be maybe not so easy.
I bet Cinderella.
Cinderella.
I think she, yeah.
Previously number 9, so yeah, that would be just a slight drop in terms of rank.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Solution on YouTube is raising a good point. Burn probably needs a better guard to become relevant again. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Nowadays, I feel like Burn teams might actually do a little bit better with somebody like Light Anya, which is a very bad sign. So yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna go for a guard.
Okay. Which one?
Yeah.
Or just a guard?
What's that called? Yeah, Lancelot.
Bride Lancelot.
Bride Lancelot.
Bride Lancelot for me too.
Right. I think Bride Lancelot last time was also number 10, so that wouldn't be a huge surprise, basically keeping her relatively stable. I could see that definitely be the case. Kyoko on YouTube saying number 10 too difficult to to guess right now, given the number of units that are possible. I agree to some degree. I mean,
the only reason why I didn't go with Bradlands is because I think there are too many ways right now to ignore effects that prevent defeat. So I think she'll just fall.
Right, that's one part maybe, and I mean we also have to think. I mean there are only 10 units obviously in the top 10, and if we are saying okay, Cleopatra definitely enters the top 10, which seems to be the common opinion, then somebody has to leave the top 10, right? So let's see who that is, but let's see. Gianmarco on YouTube is saying Bride Rizette should also be top 10 possibly. The problem with Bride Rizette is that the data, when the data was collected, she was only out for a few days, so it might not have been enough for her to fully come to her potential. And I think she will also benefit from the Dark Sun Wukong release, which is also not in the data yet. CC is saying Cinderella. Quippo is also saying Cinderella.
I think Cinderella dropped out.
Oh, you think Cinderella dropped out? Yeah, could actually be the case. I mean, he is having a tougher and tougher times with everything that is being thrown out in the meta. Don't think. Okay, Fenrir actually on Discord also interesting point is saying he's not even surprised if Cleopatra gets to the number 1 spot, which is a tall order right now. Somebody like what Anya around, but let's see. But yeah, she has the sleep ward, for example. And let's see, Quippo saying 3 or 4. Okay, number 10 was not mentioned yet, the correct number 10, and I'm gonna give you all a little hint, or maybe a big hint. It is a previous top 10 unit that had quite the fall in the last months. In fact, the biggest fall of the whole top 10. What do you guys think?
So, Angel Jeanne?
Angel Jeanne, okay. could be pushed back. I mean, super poison, mega poison, and stuff like that. Not ideal for her for sure. And also,
Is it Storm Jeanne?
oh, Storm Jeanne. Okay, yeah, Storm Jeanne being one of the oldest units right now in the top 10, or maybe in the old, considering that Light Anya came out after her.
Yeah.
Not talking about Cindy, because Cindy was already a guess gamer too. So Cindy is not number 10 in this case. It is somebody else that is actually losing more true power in the last month than Cindy. That's not to say that Cindy couldn't fall out of the top 10, by the way. Could it be? Who could it be? Kyoko on YouTube says Bright Lancelot falls off from the top 10, possibly. Mostly because Cleo's mega poison, King Arthur's super poison, okay, stuff like that. So kind of the poison front. Wukong might affect her in the next rankings as well. So yeah, Whippo is saying could be King Arthur. Ema is saying Storm Jeanne. Average person Storm Jeanne. Average person is saying Storm Jeanne only I can think of because King Arthur falling to top 10 is too much. But Quipo is disagreeing, thinks King Arthur could definitely fall that far. Well, Archie,
Yeah.
Jason, what are you guys thinking? Oh, we have Edsonix as well. Welcome, Edsonix. Free to join us in the voice chat as well.
I do know that King Arthur can fall a lot. I just don't know if she will go from 3 to out of top 10 in one go.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
of the
that's
way
fair.
she rose, she was pretty much forced to be in the first platoon. So with 2 poison units coming out after her, when she loses that spot, it's gonna be a huge fall.
Absolutely. I mean, someone like Cleopatra is possibly pushing her down quite a bit. So that is definitely something to consider. We have Michael Cucci on, sorry if I mispronounced that name, saying Angel Jeanne on YouTube and Storm Jeanne from the Bad George as a guess. So we have quite a few guesses here. Fenrir is saying, okay, King Arthur definitely still top 10 this time. And her main thinking, keeping her so high, was her passive that made her strong. If she starts on the battlefield, when she loses, she's basically useless. Yeah, I agree that the fall for King Arthur might be a big one, considering that she's just such a unit that really wants to be in Platoon 1. Caramelized, welcome, also joining on YouTube, saying it's not Angel Jeanne. Okay. And Kyoko saying, okay, King Arthur is still top 10. Well, okay, I think we can look into the
Surprised we didn't
reveal.
hear any bets for Himiko.
Oh, Himiko. Yeah, actually, good guess. Well, I mean, the hint kind of excludes her, right? Because I said, okay, it's a previous top 10 unit that lost a lot of power. But yeah, Himiko is definitely some interesting unit. Let's see how she performs after the second banner. And Edsonix is saying Cleopatra. Wow, that would be interesting to have that right away. But I think I can give it away now already. Michael Cucci, by the way, also raising a point about Light Anya being better now because of the stun absorption. Yeah, that is just a feature that seems really nice for a very long time. I'm honestly regretting not getting her 1 year ago, and now I'm thinking, okay, maybe I just wait for the next big guard. So yeah, let's see. We are gonna reveal the number 10, and a few of you were actually right. So we have already mentioned who it is, and we talked a little bit about it already. It is actually, to a big surprise to some of you maybe, it is King Arthur that is really dropping directly to number 10 already.
Damn.
Down 2.6
That
million
is
true
insane.
power.
Sheesh.
Whoa,
He's
that
dead.
is.
Damn. Wow.
That
Well,
is
I'm
the
definitely
game
not
really
Wow.
liked
dropping
her, huh?
this.
That's good for my bets, I guess.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't
yeah.
have her, so let's go. Let's go.
Same. I skipped her because of that huge Platoon 1 reliance, and I think now it's really catching up to her. I think somebody like Cleopatra, while it's also a poison unit that can work with together with somebody like King Arthur, the problem is that Cleopatra is also a great counter to King Arthur and maybe adds more value to many platoon ones. And so it's kind of eat or get eaten, and it seems like King Arthur might actually get eaten by Cleopatra. Although, to be fair, Bright Rizette and Dark Sun Wukong's release may help her again, King Arthur. Let's see if she can hold on or kind of recover a little bit. But yeah, this month's episode was really rough for her. She's down out of the top 10 in Japan already, number 13. And the best rank is currently number 7 in the Americas. So yeah, no way she can hold on to the third rank with stats like that. Only 68% usage, which also comes down a little bit to the fact that she never really achieved 80-90% usage. And now that Platoon 1 is in question, it really becomes harder for her to actually be used, because arguably there's a lot of units that might do better from the reinforcements than her. While in Platoon 1, of course, she's still a very good unit. So yeah, congratulations for the solution, for example, to guessing it correctly. And the instant skill, yeah, still really cool, but yeah, King Arthur has a lot of things that he struggles with nowadays, and so I think it makes sense. CC saying Cleopatra ruined her, and yeah, that's a fair point, because yeah, with that banish against King Arthur, her skill set, even if she's in Platoon 1, is being drawn into question. Okay, we are already starting, I think, the guesses for the number 9. While Gerald on YouTube says, I don't think King Arthur should even be in top 10. Ooh, that's a hot take. I mean, I think possibly next time that might already come true. But let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Quippo saying Cindy might actually just stay at number 9, otherwise Gilgamesh or Angel Jeanne. Edson questioning whether Cindy also has fallen. Let's see. I mean, we haven't seen Cinderella yet and don't know yet if she's gonna stay in the top 10. Jerpamer is saying Angel Jeanne could possibly rise. Fenrir is saying Gilga is super rare unit in Arena. Fair enough. And let's see. Gamer is also already saying, okay, Cinderella might be out already. Okay. Bad George is saying Odin.
I'll see Cinderella still at 9.
Okay. Also saying number 9, basically keeping her position. Jason says, I gotta stay loyal to my bets. Don't recall what your bets were right now, Jason. And yeah, Kyoko on YouTube saying so many interactions where King Arthur is poisoned or burning and can't regenerate hold ground. Yeah, exactly. Just sometimes really rough to watch her die after getting a turn. And also, of course, with something like Cursed Sleep still being rather prevalent, that is also something that might keep her from resetting that hold ground plus. Interesting point also from Kyoko. Since I don't have a full fire platoon, I use Gilga in a stun platoon simply to counter Sleeping Beauty, Kaguya, and Bright Rizette earlier. That's actually an interesting take and might actually help Gilgamesh definitely to become the best burn unit as predicted. She can also have some value. However, on the other side, you also have to consider that she might counteract your own Cursed Sleep units, so you really have to be rather careful not having her close to your own kind of Sleeping Beauty or Kaguya setup, or even Bright Reset. Okay, let's see. Do we have any other guesses that I missed? We have Gamer saying Gilgamesh. We have Beauty possibly. Jason saying, I think I predicted the rise of poison too early. Well, yeah, I mean, Dark Sun Wukong wasn't out yet, and that could definitely be a reason why poison gets a good rise again. I could possibly see myself building a poison team in the very, very near future. Well, poison was actually my starting team, honestly, for 4 years ago. No, 5 years ago. Holy. No, it's 4 years ago. Sorry. Stun Poison was the team back then, and Poison got shafted for quite a long time. But yeah, since King Arthur, it has a bit of a reappearance, a resurgence. Let's see where Poison goes from here. Quipo is saying maybe Bright Reset in 9th. I mean, she could be. Gamer 2, Bright Reset is already in the rankings, but she has very little data to work with, so that might hold her back. However, Water Anya last month was also only out for a few days, and she directly went to number 1, so who knows? There's a lot of possibilities if a unit is strong enough. Solution and CC are saying Odin for number 9. Kyoko is saying maybe Sleeping Beauty fell a lot of tears because after Gilgamesh, Sleeping Beauty is fully countered. Yeah, the question is if Gilgamesh is becoming prevalent enough. Let's see where she lands in the rankings. The Bad George is saying Cinderella or Storm Jeanne, so one of the previous number one units of 23. Kaguya, Michael Kuchi. Okay, that would be quite a big fall, but let's see.
Kaguya.
Hopefully, Michaela doesn't hear it. He's number 1. And then, let's see. Dark Angel Jeanne on number 9. Okay, well, a lot of good guesses, actually. And
Yeah, I see that one.
Archie, did you already say a guess? Sorry. You said Cinderella as well, right?
Yeah, I'm sticking with Cinderella for number 9.
Got it. Yeah, so a lot of diverse guesses in terms of previous number 10s, and I think Gilgamesh was in there too in terms of guesses. But I'm gonna reveal now what the actual number 9 is, and a few of you guys did already get it correctly, and we actually do see a previous number 1, and he is still holding on to the top 10 despite losing a lot of true power. It is Cinderella, still in the top 10, losing 800,000 of true power, but it is enough for her to stay there. Although I do have to point out she's only number 14 in Japan, and but yeah, still top 5 in the Americas, in Europe. So not so quick adaptation there. And so yeah, that makes sense. I mean, Cinderella, to be fair, I think 2 effects that hold her in the top 10. I mean, in terms of Platoon 1 units, certainly she's not top 10 anymore at this point. I think it's fair to say. However, I mean, she is really a plug-and-play unit that you can put anywhere into your platoon, and you might still get some decent value out of her, and so I think that's helping her. And on the other hand, of course, legacy effects, because she was a number 1, so and that for quite a few months, actually. So a lot of top players have her fully leveled and a lot of resources put into her, so of course they're gonna use her or keep using her if they can still get some good value out of her. So yeah, Cinderella still staying in the top 10. I don't know, guys, if you think it's worth that she's staying there, but I think, yeah, still very decent unit despite the super fast power creep that we have seen in the last few months. True, Quipo. She's like 10 months old at this point. It's actually really crazy how fast the time is going and how fast the meta is going in this case. I mean, if we think back to somebody like Earthmusha, who was released in 2021, he basically held on to the top position for over a year. This is, of course, unthinkable right now in terms of the power creep that is going on right now in Evertale. Just not really possible to stay number 1, I think, for 1 year if Sixer is not slowing down with the power creep. That is even true for some universal units like Water Anya. Let's see where she lands today. Fenrir is saying Cindy P4 is good, and yeah, she's still placed in P2, P3, P4, everywhere. Actually, her usage, as you saw, is still 89%, so basically every top team is still making good use of her. All right, then let's move on already. Let's see. I think it took a few months of domination before she gets to 9.9 million with this power grab. She could be the last and first chance. Okay, let's let's see where she goes. And yeah, Michael Cucci on Facebook and the Bet George already answered. We don't have enough data really yet for Dark Sun Wukong. There's no data. She's not included yet. And for Rizette, she might not have enough time to fully unfold her potential in terms of getting to her true power. But yeah, what do you guys think about number 8? Who could it be? We already saw
I
number
think
10
number
King
8 would
Arthur.
be Cleopatra.
Oh, Cleopatra. Okay. Hot take. I mean, not that she is in the top 10, but I think in terms of the bets that we saw, Cleopatra, a lot of people think she will go higher than that. But let's see. Edsonex is saying Sleeping Beauty for number 8. We have Gilgamesh from EMA 2. Still believing in the burn, or in the rather general utility that Gilgamesh brings to the battlefield. Number 8 is Angel Jeanne or Odin, Kripo says. Okay. If it's Odin, then Angel Jeanne is out. Okay. Interesting. Good see that. Michael Cucci is saying Odin top 3 and Cleopatra top 3. Ooh, okay, both of them. Gian Marco is saying Odin for number 8, and Yoko is saying Sleeping Beauty on number 8. Okay, we have quite a few good guesses here. Tyler is saying Loki, who previously didn't quite make it close enough to the top 10, but maybe someone like Cleopatra helps her. Although, I mean, it is a bit questionable in terms of taking her imposters out. So not exactly sure if the synergy is quite great there, especially. Yeah,
It's not very good. The Devil's Dance targets the imposters, so they kind of work against each other.
Right, and I mean, if you kill an imposter, then the nice effect, at least with Cleopatra on the battlefield, is that the other units get mega poisoned. But the Devil's Dance already has a decent chance of doing that, so there might be some optimal losses as well. So yeah, don't see Loki actually being propelled much by recent units, except maybe Dark Sun Wukong and Loki. Maybe might be an interesting combo, I suppose. But let's see. Jason is already going with Kaguya. That would be another big drop. I mean, we have seen King Arthur drop from 3 to 10, and Kaguya would be, I think, a 2 to 8. So also a big jump down. But I mean, to be fair, like top units can quickly fall down recently. I mean, we have seen the same with number 1 Cinderella, who dropped directly to number 6 from 1 month to the next. And so yeah, lots of possibilities here. Michael Cucci on YouTube saying Storm Jeanne for number 8. Hey, okay. People is saying, okay, still top 5. Gamer2 also saying still top 5. Okay, so still a few believers definitely in the Kaguya, which I hope they are gonna be correct, because I did fully awaken her on my on the second banner. So yeah, I also believe in Kaguya still being relevant for a while longer. But yeah, I think we already have quite a good diversity of guesses. The Bad George is saying Storm Jeanne or Sleeping Beauty for number 8. And I think the correct guess was already there. However, it was quite rare to actually mentioned. I think only one got it correctly, and I'm gonna reveal it now. It is Angel Jeanne. So Quippo got that one correct. Congrats on that one. Angel Jeanne still number 8, holding her place, but keep in mind that she still lost 1 million in true power. So in relative terms, this is not a really great development for Angel Jeanne, given that the kind of Angel Jeanne Kaguya combo might be the kind of hegemony of them might be in question now that we see more and more P1 units get released. But still, really good unit with a very annoying survivability skill set. Yeah, will be interesting to see where she goes from here. You can also see there is some divergence in terms of her regional breakdown. She's number 5 in the rest of Asia and number 15 in America. So there is quite some diversity how highly this unit is rated. Angel Jeanne still sticking around. We have Raju joining on YouTube. Welcome. Thanks for joining in. And yeah, Kyoko saying the jump hold ground is OP. Absolutely, that is really a big plus of her skill set, and I'm very interested if there is some synergies to be lifted as well with somebody like Dark Sun Wukong, where somebody gets pushed back and you have the light speed entry again from both Dark Sun Wukong and Dark Angel Jeanne, both of which could be quite interesting. However, Angel Jeanne, of course, is vulnerable, I think, to Mega Poison and Super Poison because then her jump hold ground doesn't trigger, so she can be defeated by something like that. And given that more and more Mega Poison and Super Poison comes out, this might also be a factor in her fall in true power. However, as I said, she keeps the 8th position right now with just 70% in the top teams. All right, Angel Jeanne is an excellent poison giver when many new poison units need that. Wait, how does Angel Jeanne give poison? I might be confused there, Jason. You might have to expand on that one a little bit. Edsonix already predicting that Swimsuit Dark Jeanne will not stay in the top 10 for long. I mean, it is becoming harder and harder, but if we see another super strong stealth release, then this might yet again lift her up again, as we saw with the Kaguya release happening. And yeah, I think Angel Jeanne is someone definitely that's gonna stick around for quite a long time in the top 28, much longer than somebody like King Arthur, for example. All right. Stealth is still bad, says Quippo. Yeah, I mean, the only really strong stealth unit right now, definitely Kaguya, and yeah, in combination, Dark Angel Jeanne. Cindy and Storm Jeanne survived in top 10 longer than most units. Yeah, definitely some units that stick around for a long time, especially impressed by Storm Jeanne, to be honest. I mean, but let's see if Storm Jeanne actually starts the year in the top 10 as well. I mean, last time she was just out at the beginning of January last year, and now she's over 1 year old, so let's see where she lands with that. With that being said, let's who number 7 could be. We have CUV19 joining on YouTube saying meow. Welcome. And number 7, Odin or Sleeping Beauty is the Bad George. Yes. We have Quippo saying Light Anya is the best performing old unit. Actually, really good point, especially considering that she never got that number 1 position. She's really just hovering below that for such a long time. Okay, CC is saying Bright Rizette. That could actually be if she was sufficiently adapted within a few days in the meta. We have Edsonix and Gamer saying Sleeping Beauty for number 7. We have Fenrir saying Guard buff for True Power. Actually, I have a debuff for guards in the True Power because, they are just, to some degree, they are tokens, I would say. They need a little bit of a debuff because they are just, usually gonna stay at least 2 of them or 1 of them in the platoon once. So given that there needs to be a little bit of a debuff for guards, given that 100% guards are to some degree, I mean, that's a bit of a hot take, but they are a bit interchangeable in the first platoon. Okay, Whippo is saying a lot of Sleeping Beauty, but could be Odin as well. Okay. We have average person.
I'll go with Storm Jeanne.
Okay, Archie going with Storm Jeanne, previous number 6. Gianmarco is going with Odin. Previous number 7. So T-Top is also saying number 7 for Odin. And Jason is saying Gilgamesh. Okay, still keeping the hope for the burn unit. Let's see if she can make it. I mean, she has possibly what it takes. Yoko is saying Odin or Sleeping Beauty for number 7. Odin is probably suffering from Gilgamesh and Wukong. Yes, though, to some degree, Wukong might not be reflected yet, but definitely Wukong with her entry effect and also with the kind of Poison Get turn is definitely something that is a counter to these Ravens from Odin. And Gerald on YouTube is saying Storm Jeanne for number 7. Also a good guess. Average person is saying Sleeping Beauty for me. Okay. Jason, I think we didn't get your guess yet. Do you have a take on number 7? Oh, Gilgamesh. Sorry, I just I overlooked that one. Usually used to having you speak your guess, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, we have quite some unity here, I would say. I think we have a lot of Sleeping Beauty, a lot of Odin, and some Gilgamesh. And Sleeping Beauty, yeah. And Storm Jeanne as well. So basically the previous number 5, 6, and 7, and the new unit Gilgamesh. CUV is saying, I don't understand anything, but yes, Jirel, SSS tier. Well, that's definitely a hot take. I'm not sure which tier was actually the highest she reached in my tier list. I think it was something like A or B. So yeah, on old servers, definitely somebody who didn't have an impact. Probably the worst performing 2023 unit in terms of the top arena meta on matured servers. So let's see. But first, we're gonna reveal the number 7, and it is not Chirel. It is a unit that is also having some divergence in usage. Yet again, we see some more regional splits coming up. And it is the number 5 in Japan with 73% usage. She is losing 750k true power, and it is Odin at number 7. So congrats to everybody who got that correctly. She is keeping her 7th position 78 days after her release. Still really good unit, and to be fair, I think Odin is a bit undervalued in my rankings because she's such a great unit for Platoon 2 or something. You don't have to put her into the Platoon 1 directly, and she will still perform really great for you. So yeah, I think Odin is definitely a unit that might stick around for quite a long time, although we do have to see how the kind of Dark Sun Wukong release might affect her as well. And yeah, Quibo, Japan is carrying Odin to some degree here. But yeah, it's I think it's fair enough. Odin definitely a top 10 unit right now. Where she lands in this top 10 is a bit of a discussion topic, I think. But yeah, really decent unit, but not enough to necessarily carry you in many games. Gamer 2 already saying nobody is gaining power this time. Yes, there are some units that are gaining power, but we're gonna come to this later. Fenrir already saying make space for Cleo. T-Top is already putting the guess down for number 6. I think we can go already for that one. Sleeping Beauty, his guess. Leo is probably replacing King Arthur. The other rankings are probably mostly unchanged. Okay, good, interesting take here from Quippo. Kind of a dark unit switch, basically from Cleo to King Arthur. Let's see who could be number 6 before we go into the top 5. I can already tell you guys that the top 4 have quite an advantage over the rest of the units in terms of true power. So there will be a bit of a leap after number 5. So let's see who comes before that now. Jason is going with Bright Reset, the new unit. And Edsonix and Gamer2 also agreeing with T-Top here with Sleeping Beauty. Siovia is asking about Goku. I don't have any data on her yet, but I feel like she might have a big split in terms of regional adaptation. So I do think she will make it into the top 10. Not sure which place though. The Bad George is also saying Sleeping Beauty. Gianmarco is also saying Sleeping Beauty. Cici is going against the grain and is saying Storm Jeanne. Silvio is also saying, I understand little about the numbers. You can always check out my video about true power, how it is calculated, then you might have a better understanding. Although, to be fair, if English isn't your best language, it might actually be hard to follow me, because my English is also not perfect. Kaguya's top 2 is very dangerous. Not sure what Fenrir means by that necessarily. Michael Cucci on Facebook, Facebook, on YouTube is saying Storm Jeanne, Sleeping Beauty, Kaguya, Loki, Cleopatra in that order. Okay, in terms of who's coming next. So he's saying Storm Jeanne on number 6. Fenrir is also already talking about number 1 and number 2. Let's see. First, let's stick with the number 6, and a few of you guys already got it correctly. So I think I'm not gonna keep you waiting for much longer, because it is a very, very strong unit that we see on number 6, a very enduring unit that has been sticking around in the top 10 for quite a while already. With 91% usage, she still keeps that position, and she is top 7 actually in every single region. So there's not even much divergence in terms of how well liked she is on the different top servers, whether that is Japan or Americas or Europe. So here is the reveal for the number 6, and it is actually Storm Jeanne. So congratulations to Cici. I think possibly the only one who got that one correct. Or maybe I forgot something right now. Sorry about that. But congratulations anyways if you got it correctly. Number 6, Storm Jeanne, still holding on to that number 6 position, which is super impressive considering that she's only already nearly 400 days old. But yeah, her utility still is staying around with that kind of Storm Michaela entry, even if you have her in later platoons. Sometimes, of course, she is taken out directly, then her use was rather limited, but as soon as she gets the kind of Storm Michaelas going, it is still really, really great unit, I think. And yeah, Etsonex already saying she's over a year now and lasted this long. Yeah, definitely a very strong unit right here. Still top 10 after 1 year. Birthday is something that is definitely something to be proud of. Let's see, I'm gonna try to catch up on the YouTube chat a little bit. Hey, let's see. Kyoko is saying Sleeping Beauty has to fall a little bit. Well, we didn't see her yet, so maybe he fell quite a bit, whether that is in rank or in true power. And we have Goku being good. Well, Goku also not having yet an impact on these rankings. And Bad George is now saying Sleeping Beauty number 5. Bright Reset is a good combination with Sleep and Poison. Raju is saying, I agree with that, definitely. And yeah, so let's see where it goes. I mean, as I said before, number 5 is the last one before we have a little bit of a jump in true power. So the first 4, kind of like wasn't it like the trainers in Pokemon, where it's also, you have like 4 top trainers or something? Right now we have 4 top units in these rankings that are basically on their own in terms of true power. But before we get to them, we still have to discover who is number 5. And Edsonix is going with Sleeping Beauty. Quippo is going with Sleeping Beauty. Jason is saying support units seem to stay in top 10 longer than attack units. Yeah, if they really provide excellent utility, then this is a very, very easy way for them to stay relevant for quite a while. We also saw Light Mirai back in the days, staying around in the top 10 for quite a long time. Let's see. Gerald is also saying Sleeping Beauty. Cici is saying Light Anya or Sleeping Beauty. So Light Anya, that would be Rob. Gamer 2 is saying Sleeping Beauty. Not sure if Fenrir is placing a bet on Gilgamesh here for number 5. Jason is saying Cleopatra number 5. Sleeping Beauty from T-Top. Archie, what is your guess? If we still have Archie, or maybe he's still thinking about his guess. We have Average Person, meanwhile, also going with Sleeping Beauty. John Mark on YouTube also going with Sleeping Beauty. Jason wants to say Gilgamesh, but stays loyal to the bets. Gerald is saying Light Anya is number 4. Meanwhile, Bad George is saying, could be Light Anya. You know, Archie is writing as well. Let's see what his take is gonna be before I reveal the number 5, because top 4 will be much more interesting. Archie is going with Cleopatra in the meantime, and we're gonna reveal the number 5 right now, and it is a unit that is top 3 in Europe and the Americas. However, it is only number 9 in Japan, and with 91% usage and quite a loss in true power actually, in terms of 700k lost. It is Sleeping Beauty at number 5. So yeah, a lot of you guys were correct. Congratulations for getting that right. And yeah, Sleeping Beauty did lose a further true power, but still holds on to the number 5 position, just because a lot of other units also lost a lot of true power. So yeah, quite a move downwards from a lot of units this month. But as I said, the next unit, or the next 4 units, will have much higher true power. In fact, the number 4 has over 1 million more true power than Sleeping Beauty, so there is quite a gap. And yeah, Jason, Sleeping Beauty, 91% usage as well still. I mean, to be fair, also similar to some other top units, it is more and more used in later platoons, but still, I mean, a very fair pick for later platoons, especially because even if somebody has burn in platoon 1, at that point it might have already died out, and then Sleeping Beauty is still a super dangerous unit. And yeah, number 2 in Americas, that is mostly due to the fact that America is notoriously burn averse, I would say. If you think back to Commander Astrid, she never really got into the top positions in Americas, and so somebody like Sleeping Beauty has a much easier time if burn is not prevalent in the arena meta. And yeah, number 10 to 5 all lost true power. So let's see. Meanwhile, Lullaby is saying Light Anya is still super good. The only unit able to resist one-hit killers like Himiko and Wukong. Power creep is super real right now. Yes, agree. Quipo is saying Light Anya can't drop fast since there aren't any guards to replace her. Yeah, fair point. Fenrir is asking, where's Dario? Dario actually, I think, one of the very few SR units that I found in these top arena teams, so that he had like, I think, 2% usage, which is very impressive given that this is mostly super whales that have a lot of units to their disposal. So yeah, Dario, definitely a great unit, and also in my first 4 units of my team right now. So yeah, Dario still an MVP with his kind of hidden stun absorb, because people like to stun other stun units like Dario. So yeah, really great. And that being said, let's move on to the top 4 already. We have Gianmarco already saying Light Anya number 4. Bad George now saying, okay, Gilgamesh isn't in the top, likely. And Michael Cookie forgot that Bright Anya is at number 1. Yes, she was last time. Dario usage in new servers is like 100%. Some interesting insight here from Lullaby, and I think that is absolutely the way to go in a new server. Dario will be a great unit as long as you don't have like 15 or 20 SSRs. It's such an easy go-to to pick Dario. So I think as long as you don't have 20 SSRs, actually Dario might be the best pick to fill up your platoon. We have Michael Kuchi going with Kaguya for number 4. And we have Siuvi saying Anya for number 3, Kaguya for 1. Okay. Question now though is, who will be number 4? Quipo is saying number 4, Light Anya. Edsonix is also agreeing. Average person is agreeing. Gamer2 is saying Kaguya. Lullaby is saying Light Anya. Wait, Jason is saying Cleopatra, I think, for number 4. Okay. Henry is saying, okay, Cleo higher than Light Anya. T-Top is saying Light Anya. Jason, Kaguya is also most likely there, so one of them is probably not in 10. Okay, let's see. Okay, but what's guesses for number 4? I think already had some correct guesses, but will it very, very soon. Unit that has over 8.4 million true power and is truly a top unit, deserving of being in the top 4. Gamer2 is saying Bright Reset left top 10. Well, she was never in the top 10. She might make it next time. Would be a surprise at this point, to be fair, if she made it into the top 4. But Water Anya did the same last month, so it's not impossible. Fenrir, though, is saying Bright is no chance at all. Lullaby going with Light Anya at number 4, but perhaps Cleo still hasn't catched up with the top 10 usage since it's a really new unit. Yeah, that's fair. She has only been out for like 3-4 weeks. And the question is how he was adapted in the top servers, of course. And Archie is also going with Light Anya. Let's see, I'm gonna reveal the number 4 now, and it is a unit that sees some divergence yet again. We have a unit that is only number 10 in Europe and in the Americas. However, she's already top 4 in Japan and Asia, and is deservedly so, I think. Arguably, she could rise even higher in the future, but we have at number 4 Cleopatra at 8.5 million true power. Really, really good unit, but still being held back a little bit in some regions. Her adaptation is not that great yet. Lullaby with the nice sticker here from Cleopatra at number 4. I'm not sure if she's happy about that position or if her aspirations are going higher than that. Of course, still a very good start. I mean, as a new unit to join the top 4 directly, that is something that very few top units can do, and Cleopatra is one of them that made it. I think the other recent examples are Water Anya and Kaguya, who went straight to the top 4 in their first SSR World Rankings. Hetzonik saying in Asia she is number 1. Yeah, she's super high usage in Asia, considering her short release time, or the short time since her release. The number 3 and number 4 in Asia and Japan is definitely something that is very impressive and pretty much close to saying, okay, she is the number 1 in these regions. Cleopatra is saying, I'm satisfied and I'm going higher, just watch me. Well, yeah, I think definitely a very real possibility for Cleopatra here. Although, of course, we also have to see how the recent Dark Sun Wukong release impacts her. And then again, Sixer always can come up with new things that nerf units. And Cleopatra is one of them that got that kind of bug fix with no longer surviving these passive killing moves, even if she has an imposter on the enemy team. So there is certain things that might hold Cleopatra back in the future months. And Fenrir is saying, Odin, is she gone? No, Odin is number 7. Good. No worries, Odin is still a super, super strong unit. But yeah, as you guys saw, big gap between number 4 Cleopatra and number 5 Sleeping Beauty in terms of true power. The next 2 units are much closer together, which might explain also, some of your guesses. So they are not really off by miles. We still need to see who the top 3 are. Gamer2 is saying, okay, Light Anya next. All right, let's see. Who do you guys pick for number 3? On YouTube, we see Gianmarco saying Light Anya number 3, and Bad George also agreeing with Light Anya. Jason still going with Bright Reset. Wow, okay, this is really commitment. I like that persistence. T-Top is going with my boy Finn. Well, maybe if they've finally released Dark Finn. I can still remember 3 years ago or something when they first had Dark Finn or Endless Finn appear in a story. I was really hopeful that Finn can revive the poison meta, but yeah, now we have some other units that maybe do that job for him. We have Nagi guess, Wesh guess, Right Reset guess here from Reles. Willkommen im Chat. And we have Darkfin and Light Norza. That would actually be a great event idea, honestly. That should be something that happens. Edsonix going with Gilgamesh at number 3. That is really, really very optimistic bet here for Burn, but everything is possible, honestly. But if so, then I guess that would mean Kaguya drops out of the top 10 because Gilgamesh is a direct counter, as Lullaby already mentioned to some degree, because, I mean, yeah, there is the stealth shield that at least helps Kaguya a little bit. Archie going with Light Anya next. Would be weird if she made it to the top 2 after being number 3 or lower for so long. Well, that's a fair point. But, I mean, on the other hand, counter arguments can be made because we already heard that Light Anya is a bit without alternative right now. We have on YouTube the question from Evie if Dark Sun Wukong is on here. No, she will only be part of the February rankings. So, unfortunately, no data on her yet. Michael Kuchi is saying Kaguya. Raju saying I think Dark Sun Wukong is a very terrible and dangerous unit. Worthy unit to take first place. Wow, that's a hot take. Let's see where she goes. And yeah, Lullaby in the chat already saying the Anya meta is real, and honestly, that was my feeling as well when we saw the rankings recently. Basically, if you were going into the new year 1 year ago, basically into 2023, and you could only give one tip to a new player or somebody for the next year, you could basically tell him, okay, if an Anya comes out, just fully awaken that unit, no question asked. Let's see. Repo is saying actually Water Anya on number 11. That would be probably the most insane twist that we have seen so far in the SSR world rankings, given that she was really close to 10 million true power, and a number 11 spot would basically mean she drops to 6 million, so that would be a loss of like 4 million true power. Gerald is going with Himiko again. A nice callback there to the last edition where we where we had very, very strong competition for the number 1 spot. A lot of people still not being sure, okay, who is going to be in the top 3, with 4 units being really, really solid candidates for it. So, yeah, super, super interesting. Tiamat number 1 from Fenrir as well. Lullaby is quoting Gilga here. No one fully awakened me, but I am so good. Yeah, that's definitely a sad time for Gilgamesh. Not sure if we will still see her here in the top 3. It's next going with grandson number 1. Of course, number 1 in the hearts. Don't forget to vote for grandson definitely in the art competition that is going on right now on my channel in the community tab with the polls. I think grandson is coming soon there, and he will really appreciate your votes to get into the main competition against all these very lewd ladies that are usually dominating in these polls so far. Onoji also doing very well in this art competition, number 1 in Jason's heart. Let's see. Okay, do we have any serious guesses for number 3? I'm trying to catch up here with all these names throwing around. And average person, yes, Nagi will definitely show up in the art competition. Every SSR will, except maybe the very newest SSRs that won't make it. But I will still have to see about this. But yeah, there will be a cutoff at some point. And yeah, Grippo, the one is getting to everyone in the art contest. Truly shedding a bit of a light here on the community to some degree. Edsonix is going with Light Anya for number 3. Lullaby saying, okay, Light Anya or Kaguya. And serious guess from Jason is Right Reset, who would have quite a meteoric rise, similar to Water Anya if she goes to number 3. Tito asking about the art contest. Just a really quick explanation right now on my community tab. Every day or so, I'm posting a poll between 4 units where you can just cast your vote which of the art forms art pictures basically of these units is your favorite. And in this way, we will try to find out which are the most popular units in terms of looks in Evertale. So skills will not matter for this competition. And yeah, Eevee just catching up now on the number 10, which was probably the biggest reveal in the top 10 so far in this event, that King Arthur only makes it to the number 10 after being number 3 in the previous edition. So that is really big. And Lullaby with the explanation, suffering from poison way too much, which is really kind of ironic that King Arthur is being pushed back actually by other poison units being released. So yeah, 2.6 million power loss exactly. Let's see, do we have on YouTube some guesses? Storm Clarice top 20. Well, I mean, Storm Clarice, maybe on the second banner that is out now, she can rise again given the great synergy with Cleopatra, but that is still to be seen if that is something that will impact her in the next month after her second banner. I mean, Cleopatra might have already helped her, but yeah, top 10 might be a bit of a tall order for her right now. Gerald saying thanks for the art competition. My pleasure. I actually really enjoy seeing this and seeing which art forms are appreciated, although I really hope, crossing my fingers, for Wesh to perform well as well. My favorite art in Evertale. But let's see. I'm not gonna let my bias influence the results. No worries about that. But yeah, coming back to the number 3. Quick note also from Lullaby on Storm Clarice. That's actually a good point. She's not in top 10, but her utility cannot be denied. That Turn Giver is just super crazy in my opinion. That's just a great deadly skill. Immediate Force Spirit, 2 Purify, 2 turns given. That is such a sick move. But yeah, I was also surprised that she's not picked up as much. But I think, and that was also my prediction when Storm Clarice came out first, that King Arthur might overshadow her for a bit, but afterwards, in the long run, a few months down the road, I think Storm Clarice will overtake King Arthur in the rankings, so her having much longer utility than somebody like King Arthur, both of which, of course, famous for their fatal skills that ignore passives. Okay. Let's see. Gotta rank the art contest so Wesh isn't with any loot woman. Oh, that's difficult. Okay, let's see. Back to the top 3. After a bit of a detour, Raju is already waiting for number 1, so let's try not to keep him waiting for all too long. Let's see. Number 3 will be revealed. If you have any guesses, post them now. I'm gonna reveal it in like half a minute. Preparing that reveal. I think we had Bride Rizette as a contender. We had Gilgamesh, and we have Light Anya. I think Light Anya probably the most picked one, and I think somebody picked Kaguya as well. Okay, let's see. Any last guesses? Okay, we have a countdown: 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that wasn't exactly seconds, but here we go. I'm gonna reveal now the number 3, and it is, to a big surprise, I think. Well, maybe, I don't know. What do you guys think? But it is a bit surprising. She's number 3. Kaguya dropped
Yeah, that
1
is
rank.
surprising.
Right?
Oh,
Damn, bro.
that's interesting. I was gonna bet her for number 1.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no,
Whoa,
unfortunately.
yeah, my kiss my bad. Yeah.
Number 3 instead, and she's like 1 million true power down, so that's a big loss. I mean, to be fair, she was very high in true power last time, but yeah, she had a bit of a
Has
pushback.
anybody in power?
So far, no.
Okay, hold
I
on.
think,
The
well, I mean,
only person
Cleopatra.
that's being power is Leon. Yeah. What the hell?
Damn, Cleopatra be messing up the rankings too, not just the formation.
Well, I mean, we still have 2 units left, so maybe some other units can also gain true power. And I mean, to be fair, outside of the top 10, there might also be some units that gain true power. So let's see. Kaguya, maybe some more words because we didn't talk about her too much. I think Kaguya is still a very, very good unit. And I
Does
mean,
this mean we will have Anya in 1 and 2? Interesting.
Yep.
could
Most
have that
likely,
happening.
Anya for
Yeah.
number 1 and 2.
the Anya.
That would be the Anya meta confirmed. Now we're just waiting for Fire Anya exactly to revive the Fire meta, and then we have the big the big platoons. But yeah, I mean somebody like Water Anya and Light Anya. Let's see if they are actually in the top 2. But what's good about these units is that both of them are very good platoon 1 units, of course. So let's see. Anya 1 and 2 also Quip was saying poison rise partially. Maybe just a few more words on Kaguya. Still super great unit. I just think her position is threatened a little bit in terms of, you know, last December she was still top pick or the number 1 pick basically for platoon 1s, and now that kind of hegemony is being drawn a bit into question by all these other releases. And so we will have to see where she goes from here, if she is being pushed back to the later platoons. Gerald on YouTube is saying Kaguya a little overrated and Angel Jeanne a little bit underrated. That's fair. Kaguya is a bit more straightforward in terms of her skill set. That kind of cursed sleep impacting enemy units on possibly every turn, except if you run against the burn team, is really good though. And I mean, Angel Jeanne and Kaguya combo is just really nice. I mean, I'm using that in arena right now, although I have to possibly reconsider with the recent releases. Let's see. Reles is saying Light Anya on number 2, Water Anya on number 1 as well. Water Anya both number 1 and number Anya what? Okay, Fenrir is saying Water Anya is so good that she takes number 2 and number 1. let's see. Which unit started the low TRU trend? That's actually a good question from Jason. I think it was rather gradual, right? I mean, we had Stormlord Miller last year, 1 year ago, which had this shift gear passive, which made her faster, but she used the charges every time she got faster, so it wasn't really super reliable in terms of being super fast. I think one of the really fast units in summer was Bright Lancelot with no skill that is basically above 70 time units. Now we have Dark Sun Wukong with no skill above 50 time units, which is probably the fastest right now in terms of time units. So yeah, it's a gradual trend, and I think it is something that is definitely nerfing stun units to some degree, although stuns are getting more crazy. So at the same time, you could argue, okay, that also helps. And yeah, very interesting development. But yeah, the time units are getting crazy. Everything is getting crazy, honestly, in the meta, which is slightly problematic. I think I feel like they are pushing a little too many boundaries at the same time, basically reducing the time units, increasing survivability, increasing damage output, increasing the passives that, you know, get you turns or affect the enemy team or anything. So there's so many things going on at the same time, but yeah, I don't want to drift into a rant on that one. Tito is saying Bright Reset dies to poison too quickly, and I think that's actually a fair point. Bright Reset definitely someone that is ironically countered by poison. So yeah, might hold her back a little bit. Not sure if she's gonna show up here in the top 2. Though to be fair, the data is too short, and Bright Reset together with Dark Sun Wukong can be a super deadly combo. Archie saying, waiting for Zigzag to release the negative time units that can attack enemies in the future. Oh man, nah, that would break the game. I think that's actually too much effort for them to implement. They just rather throw out more instant skills. I recall Lancelot got the first one-time unit skill. Well, actually, funnily enough, Dark Alice was the first one that got one-time unit skill. I'm fairly confident about this because that's why I fully awakened her, and then it turned out she's actually the worst unit with a one-time unit skill, but you know, you live and you learn. But let's see. They are losing the grasp on balance. Eventually, there simply won't be a better idea to make a more OP unit. ×4 ally turn giver watch. That's already a prediction right there from Lullaby. Let's see. Shut down enemies game in one-time unit. Storm Rollo 3.0. The next Rolosha. Oh my god, that's some super giga Storm Bright Rolosha. Oh man, that certainly sounds like the true meta breaker, the one unit to end it all. Let's hope she doesn't come too soon. This kind of super giga storm bright Rolosha. Okay. In terms of the guesses, Bad George on YouTube is saying Light Anya. Gianmarco also saying Light Anya. I think it's time to reveal the number 2. Maybe there isn't any surprises, or maybe everybody will be super surprised right now, or maybe it's just a surprise about where this unit actually lands. Oh yeah, Kripo saying next unit only has instant skill that gives 10 energy. Well, that's actually, in these times, it's not even that great anymore. It sounds not that great anymore, because that's one thing that I forgot to mention in terms of that meta shift is more and more skills and active skills and passive skills that give additional passive. So it's just totally out of whack compared to earlier when all strong skills actually required you to have spirit. These times it's no longer the case, and we have Lightfish from Lullaby, which is a very interesting unit. That one might actually be the one that is absolutely insane if it comes on. Lightfish cameo on TRU's channel. Yeah, I think I will introduce her sometime soon. Let's see. But first, let's see a little bit of a reveal here. For number 2, it is a unit that is really impressive in terms of usage, and it is a unit, first unit, or only the second unit in this top 10 reveal that actually gains true power. She is number 1 in Europe. She's number 2 in rest of Asia. She's number 3 in Japan. She's number 3 in Americas. She has 99% usage, and it is Light Anya, the one guard that is actually top tier right now. A lot of quiet, not so many surprised reactions compared to Kaguya. But yeah, Light Anya is still holding on massively actually, and gaining true power despite everything else that is going on. Light Anya still stays a staple in the top platoons of the meta, and the Anya meta is real potentially. Let's see who number 1 is. And yeah, Light Anya also almost 1 year old, by the way. Still number 2 after 1 year. That is actually pretty insane. And 99% is the highest for this month indeed. So yeah, she has the highest usage of all units in Evertale right now in terms of the top platoons on the old servers. And yeah, let's quickly, maybe, I mean, there's not much to say about Light Anya because she's already been around for 1 year basically, but Light Anya is definitely the top guard right now. Bright Lancelot didn't manage to overtake her. No chance for her right now. Although, maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe we are actually not in the Anya meta, but in the guard meta instead. Doing a funny Mesh incoming. I should actually post Mesh sometimes, but yeah, here's Bright Lancelot for you guys. I mean, some of you have already guessed that in the beginning. Bright Lancelot actually here, and yeah, it is the number 1-1, so number 11 only, Bright Lancelot. But if you look at the true power, interestingly, He gained true power. So that is another unit that actually gained true power, and not a lot of people were expecting that. I think a lot of bets were placed on Bright Lancelot to lose true power, but even though she lost 1 rank, she actually gained a little bit of true power, 76% usage, but you can see some divergence here in the regions. She's number 6 in Japan and number 7 in Europe, and in the other servers, she's not even top 15. So a lot of differences. So Raju on YouTube, quick explanation. This was just number 11 reveal here for Bright Lancelot. T-Top is saying best fully awakened art. Don't add me. Okay, hot take. And yeah, Jason Quippo also saying yes, they are gaining true power. Bright Lancelot is gaining true power, and yep, I think guards still super relevant. Although, let's see if I don't know how Dark Sun Wukong will perform against Bright Lancelot. On the one hand, Bright Lancelot is weak against Super Poison, of course, but on the other hand, Dark Sun Wukong is weak to stun. So maybe we have a nice little trade-off here. Let's see where she goes from here. But for now, I'm gonna reveal what you guys maybe were actually expecting or hoping to see. Although let's ask a little question first, because I think there's a pretty big unity in terms of who number 1 will be. But maybe another question: do you guys think that the number 1 unit of this month might be the first one to crack the 10 million true power barrier? What are you guys' thoughts? Normal Lancelot if art is number 1. Okay, art competition is is a separate matter, definitely on this channel. But now we see
No.
Water Anya possibly. Axel is joining as well. Nice to have you, Axel. And Edson is also saying Water Anya.
I don't think she's that strong.
Gamer2 is saying no
Yeah.
one is going 10 million. T-Top is saying, okay, over 10 million. Relis is saying, yeah, Water Anya number
She's
1.
not that strong.
Yep. Yeah.
RG and average person are saying, no, she cannot go over 10 million.
Yeah, I really don't think she's that strong.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. As much as I'm amazed
If
with that
anything, I think she's overrated.
Yeah. As much as I am amazed with that video showing that her soloing an X10 mission, yeah, she's not gonna do the 10 mil.
Okay, she was pretty close last time, so let's see what she does.
I think we need to give it like more time, be like
Okay.
3 to 4 months. Yeah, so that it can slowly get more and more usage and eventually crack the 10 million barrier.
Grippo, meanwhile, is saying she has 100 million true power, which would explain why there were so many true power losses this time. She has broken the system in 101% of top teams. That would be truly impressive stuff from Water Anya. Somebody basically hacking the game so he can have 2 Water Anyas in his arena battalion, which, to be fair, would be pretty crazy to think about. Relis is saying 9.3 to 9.5 million. Paired with Light Anya, they multiply in power. 4 characters in 2 spots. Well, I mean, it's possible now with somebody like Dark Sun Wukong and the multiplication that is going on there. Let's see. Imagine Dark Sun's true power with cloning. Yeah, let's see where she goes. Imagine a blood of all Gilga. Okay, well, all Cleo. Oh my goodness, that's actually more insane than Water Anya, possibly. Because Water Anya can still, if you have a lot of stunners, you could still, counter a team full of Water Anyas. But yeah, if you run against all Cleos, then I think it's GG. Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna reveal the number 1 now. I'm already ready. I feel like, okay, the majority is saying, okay, number 10 million true power is not possible for a unit to achieve. some are saying, okay, yeah, she cracked it. She cracked the code, she cracked the meta and broke the game, basically, which is a fair assumption to have, possibly. Gianmarco is also saying on YouTube that 10 million power will be overthrown by Water Anya. Tito is saying Finn. And I'm gonna reveal it now. We have a number 1 that is ranked number 1 in Japan, number 1 in rest of Asia, number 2 in Europe, and number 1 in the Americas. She has 93% usage. She has the same rank as last month, but she has a very, very different power. And most of you guys were actually correct because she doesn't quite have 10 million true power. Instead, she goes she goes straight to 11 million true power. So yeah, she's actually the first unit to break the 10 million true power barrier. And
okay, I seriously don't get it.
yeah, I mean, she's basically in every platoon 1 when I was checking.
Actually, how?
What the
There's no way she's
damn.
doing that much. There's no way.
I mean, come on, she's out for like not even 50 days at the time of collecting the data, and she has 93% usage, is basically fully powered in most platoons, and she's a mainstay in the platoon 1s. To be fair, I think now she absolutely peaked, and I think overcoming that kind of true power is possibly impossible. But yeah, this is possibly a record for the ages. And yeah, the Anya meta is real. We have 2 units that together have 20 million true power, basically, and that is 2 Anyas. So yeah, the Anya meta is here. You heard it here first. And Water Anya, yeah, definitely absolute cracking off the meta. Fenrir is asking where Earth Anya lands. Earth Anya currently on number 24, so also considering her age, still sticking around quite well. I think she's 2 years old at this point. So yeah, really good stuff. But Water Anya is reigning supreme right now. Although I think it will be interesting to see how that shifts now that we have seen these other strong releases of Dark Sun Wukong, for example. Maybe that brings this kind of forced sleep mechanic that Water Anya also brings to the table a bit down a notch. But yeah, Water Anya with that kind of on the one hand really strong survivability, with the best active skill possibly in the game, with the Aegis Overload, and also with the kind of elemental circuit at full awakening. She's really a beast, making every unit an entry unit, and so she can even be used, I guess, arguably in some burn teams. So yeah, lots of things to love about Water Anya. Try make a bar chart race about true power. I will definitely work on that, Edsonix. Thanks for that suggestion. I just have to compile all the data that I collected over the years for that, but should be rather interesting to see how everything developed over time. And yeah, Water Anya definitely cracking some stuff. And let's see how she develops in the next one. I mean, 11 million true power is something that is really crazy. Jason saying, you get an entry, everyone gets an entry. Exactly, that is what Anya being a bit of an Oprah there. Redis, I said there's a big gap between number 4 and number 5 in terms of true power, and number 2 to 4 were the ones that are relatively close in true power. Water Anya, unfortunately, higher than that. I think I didn't lie, but if I did, apologies for that. Was hoping to see, of course, a broad range of guesses, but yeah, number 1, Water Anya. And if you guys want, I can quickly post the top 14 overview already before, posting the top 28 later in the tier lists and stats channel, and on the YouTube channel, the top 42 as well. But if you guys are interested in number 11 to number 14, we can also do that really quickly. It's very quiet right now. Archie is asking a
Yeah, I
good
wish I could
question.
talk about it.
Yeah,
Archie
we're
is...
so shocked right now.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was
We're
also, I felt like, okay,
we're
come
in
on, this
state
can't
of
be,
disbelief.
this can't be true. Like, I thought, okay, what the hell? I even, I trusted a little bit the true power methodology because, the first banner boost is also there, but it's barely there for Water Anya because, she's already at 93% usage, so a second banner will not help her much anymore. But yeah, Archie asking, is true power zero sum? Like, does all the power gained by some units equal all the power lost by the other units? Yes, that is the case. That wasn't always the case, but I think for the last 9 months or so, basically the total true power is basically 160 million true power, and that is distributed amongst all the units. Yeah, the idea there is to kind of have it close to a whale team basically that is full of 8 million SSRs, and so that is the idea behind that number. How I came up with that.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so
Hi.
as Fernier said, there'll probably be inflation.
Hyperinflation in Evertale. Yeah, I mean before that, it was calculated based on all the power that was collected. So basically, everybody is in the data set gets summed up and then it's distributed again. But yeah, this is the new kind of way to keep it a little bit more stable. So if more F2P players, for example, make it into the data set, there's not an automatic true power loss for everyone just because the true power of the collected data is lower. Shadows is also joining in here, best player of Europe, asking why Stormchain is still so high, or more of a statement. And yeah, that's I mean, I don't know if Shadows is actually using Stormchain. If he is, then that is also helping her in the rankings, because Shadows, I think, has 3 accounts in the data set because he's such a prevalent player in Europe. What placement is Gilga? That is actually a very fair question, Quipo, and the answer is a bit of a sad one, honestly. Nobody nobody got the bonus question correctly. Gilgamesh actually only managed to make it. Hold on to your seats. He only managed to make it to number 21 with 20% usage. So 4 out of
That's
5
terrible.
teams are not using her at all. And if she is being used, then quite a few teams are actually using her in Burn Platoon 4s. So Burn is just completely gone from the
Burn
top
is
20 right now.
gone.
There's no top 20 unit with the fire element right now in the SSR world rank. Pretty crazy, honestly. But yeah, Gilgamesh, the number 1 burn unit now in the game, despite all that. And yeah, a bit underperforming because of burn underperforming. And yeah, that sticker from Lullaby sums it up pretty well. Yeah. T-Top is using her, so maybe that gives her a little boost next time. And yeah, in War, I mean, this is a different story, right? Because these SSR world rankings are really strictly concerned with the Champions Arena. So War platoons are certainly buffed by Gilgamesh. These burn platoons have much, much better chances now again. So yeah, that makes sense. Do you guys also want to know number 11, 12, 13, and 14? So I would post the picture.
Yeah, I don't want to know those.
Yeah.
Let's go. There you will also see, these kind of, that you already noticed while we went through it, these true power losses that were really prevalent. Posting. There we go. Yeah, as you can
Look
see,
at that loss.
a lot of units lost power. Bright Lancelot gained a little bit. Himiko stayed pretty stable. Water Alice kept her rank but lost some true power. Gigarolotion lost some true power. Bright Litmiller fell out of the top 14. And what you cannot see here, but I'm gonna give you a little bit of a heads up, even though it's not revealed just yet. Storm Clarice is actually only other unit that is not visible here in the top 20 that also gained true power. So Storm Clarice definitely benefactor from the Cleopatra release, and let's see if that is continuing to be the case. And Fenrir is pointing out a good part. The age column is getting crazy. Yeah, now you can really see the power creep here because Brightlord Miller is not there anymore. You can see that pretty much every unit here is super young. The oldest unit in the top 14 right now is Storm Jeanne from 1 year ago, which is crazy if you think about Misha being number 1 year after her release. And yeah, all the units lost true power for Water Anya, but more so for Cleopatra on the one hand, 8.5 million there. We also have Gilgamesh with 3.1 million true power, which has to come from somewhere. And we have Bright Rizette at 4.2 million true power after just 4 days. She already had 17% usage, so basically in just 4 days she already overtook Gilgamesh in terms of adaptation in the top meta. So yeah, currently rank 18 will be interesting to see where she lands because, as I said, I think she's a great combo with Dark Sun Wukong, so they could really mess things up. But yeah, quickly let's go through the top bettors because we had a lot of good bets again. Hope you placed your bets in time. We have quickly see who were the top performers. Very, very good stuff from a lot of people. We had the number 7 performance from Rain from this Discord channel. Well done. We have number 6, IC. So good performance from her again, rising. Number 5 was Kareligaus. Number 4 was Jason. So congratulations for that, Jason. Number 3 was not Leo second. Number 2 was Lilac from this server as well. And number 1 in terms of percentage performance this month was Gamer2, who was also here with us today. So congratulations, Gamer2. Very, very good performance. Now the best bettors overall. Let's see. We have number 7, Axel, who unfortunately didn't place his bets in time this time. Axel, what happened? But you're still keeping number 7 anyway. So I mean, that is actually a really, really good performance. Then we have number 6, Jason overall. So congrats for making it into the top 6. That is actually super impressive. Number 5, we have Canes. Number 4, we have T-shirt. Number 3 is not Leo second. Number 2 is Lilac. And number 1, as before, is Thanatos. So congratulations to Thanatos, one of the longest standing veteran bettors, still keeping that number 1 spot. Top performance once more. And yeah, a lot of people guessing Water Anya for number 1 correctly, of course. So there were some bonus points distributed. But Lilac was the only one who got Cleo's number 4 position correctly. So special shout out to him or her. Yeah, that was really, really good. Let me quickly catch up with the chat here. Help my friend Stormclaries get her kills and she gives me the turn back. Win-win for Cleopatra for sure. Lullaby here with the quote. That is definitely the best synergy we have seen in a while, given that some people even had to resort to using Water Colin to make Stormclaries work. Nowadays, she has a really good combo with with Cleopatra. Average person, why is this the saddest bar chart you've ever seen? Can you elaborate on that?
Bro, I mean, look at it, bro. It's almost all red, except Anya. Water Anya took all of it.
Oh, it's true. It's actually a really big shift downwards. I mean, to be fair, since it's a zero-sum game and we see so many new releases, that's also part of the equation. So, I mean, Dark Sun Wukong, of course, will come in, will also take some power away from other units. So it's really tough to stay on the top right now, in the top 10. But if you think about it, I mean, Water Anya, yes, right now the undisputed number one. But on the other units, it's actually, given that they are losing true power, it actually signifies that there's a bit more diversity in the meta. So it's not as straightforward as it was maybe before. Which units are actually dominating? If we ignore the if we ignore the Water Anya insane release. Okay, I think that's it for today. I thank you all very, very much for joining along for this ride. It was again very, very fun with you guys. Although I'm running out a bit of voice right now, so always feel free. Even though I'm monologuing or something, you can always interrupt and and say something whenever you feel like it. So it's not just a monologue, but of course, text chat works as well, and was very nice to have you here as well. And yeah, thanks to you guys as well. Thanks Edsonex and T-Top for the thank you. My pleasure. And yeah, we will see how it goes in next editions. I think will be very interesting to see, though. I hope maybe now, maybe for 2 or 3 weeks, that would be really nice to not have any
Yeah,
new
for the
units.
last few.
That would
Me
be
too.
that would be really nice for a change. After 4 in
Yeah,
a
so we
row.
can have some
Mm.
more
Is this
stable top tens.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, we could have a little rest, or maybe yeah. It doesn't look like it right now, but maybe 2024 can become a little bit more like 2022, where we saw, not as meta breaking units, and it was a lot more stable. But yeah, maybe that's a lot of wishful thinking. Maybe the biggest hope we could have right now is a bit of a break on new units for 2 weeks or something. So fingers crossed for that. Thank you, Lullaby, for joining. Of course, thanks for everybody in the chat making this such a fun event. Special thanks, of course, to Archie, Average Person, Jason, because you guys also brought a lot of voice contributions. So it wasn't me, the only one who was talking. But yeah, I think wow, a lot of time has passed actually. Holy moly, I think this was the longest event we had yet. But thanks a lot for joining, everybody who is watching on YouTube or maybe rewatching this on
Thanks for
YouTube.
hosting.
Thank you, thank you. Everybody who's watching this later, you can always join my Discord channel and hopefully, or maybe join us live next time to guess along live where everybody ranks. And yeah, I think that's it for now. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe to become a true carrot. And as always, thanks for watching. Have a good morning, night, or afternoon,
You
depending
too.
on where you're watching or where you're tuning into this event. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye.
that?
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Yep. Bye bye. And that's a wrap. Nice.
Exactly. Whew. Everybody already.